drag queens in heels, drag kings with glittery beards, signs with cats on them, dogs in rainbow scarves, various Theresa May impersonators, people chanting, singing, shouting. This is what protest is all about. Scenes from the anti-Trump march today were reminiscent of what Pride should have been last weekend, how I imagine it once was years before the community sidelining and corporate takeover. After the grim transphobic protest that disrupted the London Pride Parade on Saturday, it was heartwarming, less than a week later, to see the LGBTQ community come together to protest Trump's UK visit. As part of the drag block, people of all genders marched and chanted in solidarity, saying no to sexism, racism, ableism, classism, homophobia and transphobia. We stood together, and for that I am proud. Of course, I'm not saying that the community, or wider society, is free of those prejudices suddenly, now that we've protested against them. Marches, unfortunately, never work like that. By design, this form of resistance rarely actually achieves anything directly. I don't think there are many marches in history that have taken place and on the day of the next, seen radical change happen as a result. So what is the purpose of a march? Although almost never a direct means to an end, it is an outlet for people to shout how they're feeling from the street, quite literally. It's a way for people to join together, to resist, to feel powerful and a part of something bigger than themselves. It's often energizing and creative, a merging of hundreds, thousands, millions of people against one person or one issue. It's about people coming together and fighting, yes. Bright colors and lots of noise, yes. King, queen or in between, changing the face of drag, but most of all, it's about countering everything we don't want to see: deportations, separation, judgment, fear, with what we do want: solidarity, community, openness and, as cheesy as it might sound, care and respect for those around us. That is exactly what the UK show Trump and Theresa May, as we sung against everything they stand for. Seeing people from so many different groups at the march was beautiful, and it's always my favorite thing about protesting. Trump has threatened the rights of so many minority groups that it's difficult to keep count. When someone compromises the rights of one group, it's powerful to see everyone stand up and make noise. From the actions of today, Trump knows that if he comes for one of us, he comes for all of us. And most importantly, anyone affected by his actions knows that we stand with them. In our thousands. Demonstrators on the Stop Trump march through London. Protesters in Trafalgar Square. Demonstrators gather in George Square, Glasgow, for the Scotland United Against Trump protest. Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn walks through a demonstration against President Trump's visit to the UK on his way to make a speech in Trafalgar Square. Children were among thousands of people around the UK to protest against Donald Trump's visit. Drag queens take part in the Drag Against Trump protest in Piccadilly Circus. Edward Miliband joins the march. A drag queen joins protesters against the UK visit of US President Donald Trump. Protesters for the Stop Trump. Demonstrators on the Stop Trump march through London. Protesters in Trafalgar Square. Demonstrators gather in George Square, Glasgow, for the Scotland United Against Trump protest. Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn walks through a demonstration against President Trump's visit to the UK on his way to make a speech in Trafalgar Square. Children were among thousands of people around the UK to protest against Donald Trump's visit. Drag queens take part in the Drag Against Trump protest in Piccadilly Circus. Edward Miliband joins the march. A drag queen joins protesters against the UK visit of US President Donald Trump. Protesters for the Stop Trump. Diversity is so important at protests like these because that's exactly what Trump doesn't want to see. A Muslim drag queen holding hands with a working-class building apprentice is Trump's worst nightmare. We are always stronger when we're together. and those in power are always weaker when they see how strong we are. That's the thing, those in power want to carve out a society for us that they want to see. And the best we can do is stand up together, and show them that they can't, that this is what we want instead: unity, care, and to find happiness in celebrating who we are and the love we feel for each other. Although it won't cast Trump out of the UK forever, it shows him that his ideology of hate will never win.